Hi everyone, I'm Martin. Who are you? And today we are playing Cities Skylines 2 Richie Bay. Welcome back everyone, and thanks again for joining in into, well, basically the summer of Richie Bay. And speaking of summer, I have not uploaded a video in a couple of weeks now here on the YouTube channel. I'm so sorry for that, but we've had some amazing weather here in Belgium, which is quite rare. And I've been enjoying my time with family and friends outside of my home and not in front of a computer. I hope that is okay, and I hope that, well, wherever and whenever you are, you enjoy the season and the weather as well. I also just got back from Spain, Alicante. Hola, ¿qué tal? Which has been quite amazing. I speak a little bit of Espanol, at least I try to, which was quite funny to do so into the city. We've had some amazing weather there. I did not get sunburned. I got a tan though. Most of the time I turned into a lobster, but we did some sunbathing, some swimming, and of course some shopping. But before I start yapping your ears off again, let me just say this in front of the video. Today, we are going to build a train station, add some railway networks into Richie Bay, and expand our industry zone onto our island and create it into a beautiful harbor area. I'm so sorry for the yapping, guys. But that is what we are going to do today. But before we dive into that, let me showcase a little bit what I've been doing offline and in my, well, basically free time or holiday time, as you can say. Remember, last episode, we've detailed the commercial district a little bit, which we are right now, but we still have some empty spaces around that area, which again, we still have. I mean, look at this beautiful green area. Wow. We need to fill that up still, but I've also added some more mixed housing, some more apartments, some more office zoning to have a nice flow away from our commercial district into a more urban area. And I wanted to showcase these buildings because I just love the architecture of the Japanese mixed housing. It also reminds me a little bit of the apartments that I saw in Alicante alongside the beach. I think when you build like a European styled city, you can use the Japanese mixed housing quite a lot. So again, if you mix match a little bit, I think it looks quite nice into your city. Remember, this is an American style built city, but I don't care. I just love the architecture and the shape of it. So we've added this right here. And as you can see, yes, we need to detail this still a lot. I mean, this is well, this is just awful. Why am I showcasing this? But I did not have the time nor the mindset to do so because it's way too hot here in my stream room. So I've not been doing that quite for some time now. We're gonna do that in the future, of course. Other than that, I've also added some more apartments right here and some more office zoning. I've played a little bit with the shapes of the streets, as you can see. I was afraid that everything turned into the same grid and basically was built on the same grid. As you can see quite here, it's all like 90 degrees and just on the same angle. And here I've added some more diagonal streets to create a little bit more of a difference and a different kind of look into the city, which I think turned out quite nicely. This way we have a little bit of variation with the angles, with the big buildings, and it's just nicer to look at for some reason. And then here at the edge of our city, we have a new, beautiful, modern looking business district. I'm in love with these office buildings from the China Pack. I love the organic structure and the architecture of it. I do love that we have two sizes of it, so it has a little bit of a variation as well. And because of they are so organic, I wanted to add a little bit of more a juxtaposition, a contrast in architecture around it. And I wanted to add like a big cubicle square something, which I did. I found this huge northeast apartment building, and I think it looks quite amazing. Also, to be honest, the view here, not that bad to have over this business district or over the commercial district even. I think it looks quite nice. So, you know, it's quite a luxe apartment. And then in the back within our business district, again, we do need to detail this also. This is just awful. But we have this beautiful looking modern art museum right here. I think the architecture of this and this building is amazing. Whoever made this inside of Paradox Interactive, wonderful job. It's crazy for me to have these kind of buildings into our city. It looks so cool. They also have some residents inside this building, so people actually live here, which I think is a nice addition, because then people also start walking here onto these streets and stuff like that, which is amazing. And it gives us a bonus of 75 points of indoor recreation. Around that, I've also added the Japanese commercial buildings, the low density ones right here. When you place them all together, it starts to look like a mall, which I do like. So people can shop here just a little bit as well when they are, you know, here working in this beautiful business district. And besides that, I also think that this is a great eye catcher when you are entering the city of Richie Bay. I mean, just look at that. When you are with your car here and you're like visiting the city, you're like, oh my god, look at these towers. It's amazing. And of course, even for our future railway passengers. Use the R, Martin, use the R. God dang it. So that is basically what I've been doing in the free time, which is not a lot, to be honest. I just play some building and we still need to detail. But that is for the future. Right now, we start with our train station. Let's go. Okay, so let's think this through, shall we? Before we do something which I'm going to regret later. First off, I already know what kind of train station I want to build here. It's going to be the modern architecture one, the big one. It's going to fit in quite nicely here. And I think around here, I'm going to add maybe the bank and City Hall from the modern architecture pack as well. But that is going to be for later. Okay. Why do I keep saying later? I'm gonna save it for later. Just do it now. Just do it now. Anyway, with the railway coming in right here from the opposite cities on the north and the south, we're gonna enter here. We're gonna lower the railway, of course, but I think 1 or 2 tracks are going to go underground as well. I've been thinking of running the train straight through the city right over here into the harbor area as well, because we're gonna need some cargo terminals within our harbor area, which we're gonna build here. But to be honest, to have a cargo train running through your city, maybe even like above level right in front of your window, I don't think that's really believable. I mean, are we going to build a realistic city? No, but are we gonna make it unlivable for the people here? No, that's not what I want. So maybe we do an overground subway. Maybe we're gonna do that, but I think it would be wise to have the railway going here, going underground, make a turn, and then go up into this section right here, and then make a turn onto this island again. So the cargo train basically runs underneath the city and then goes up again to go in and out of our city. So that is basically the idea. So the modern architecture train station, let's start with that first. Now, I do know that we have some space left in between. So I'm gonna put a pedestrian street right here and not build it basically right on... Oh yeah, this is new. We have piers now. Yay! But where's our expansion though? Ooh. Where are the pedestrian streets? Where are the pedestrian streets? Because I download like a lot of new mods. These are alleyways. These are the pedestrian streets as well, right? We have piers now, and then underneath. Yes, so I think this is the basic pedestrian street. Maybe with the road builder tool, we can download maybe a nicer one. But I think if I do this correctly, and if I saw this correctly, I think if we placed it right 1 centimeter of our normal road, I think it would fit in perfectly with... Okay, sirens. Nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. And then let's grab our train station. This is buses. This is trains. Let me think. We have the modern architecture, the small one, then the central station, and then we have the Mediterranean one. So I need this one right here. Let's zoom out with my zooming tool. And I think I did it quite nicely. Perfect. So let me think about this, because we do want to go in and out, so it has to be a little bit into the center of it all, but I also wanted to place it across this crossing street, but it's a little bit close by, right? Yeah, I think I do not have another option. I think I just have to build it in the middle then, which, I mean, to be honest, can be quite nice too. So let's just place it down right here. We have a lot of tracks coming into our city then, which, I mean, to be honest, is quite fine. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we upgrade this building too? I think we can. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, so this is a built-in underground subway station, which I am difficult if I'm going to build this or not, because I do want to add, of course, subway stations, but I am wondering, do we still see people transfer from station to station, or do they just go underground? Because I want to see like a bustling kind of city. So we're gonna check that out later, because I've not placed a subway rail yard just yet. But we're gonna add this. And the funny thing about this modern architecture style central station is that we can add office buildings, which I think is quite realistic. I think it's quite nice. And it does, of course, is a nice fit with our business district right here. So we're gonna check that later, because these are modules that come as an apart set. So we are, you know, within our zone right here, but I think we can create something nice around it. So let me just detail that later. For now, let me place the railway section and make a connection to our outside connections. I think we're all set. It's a lot of tracks though. It was quite a puzzle and quite difficult to make it a little bit realistic. I mean, you know, it goes into the city on 10 meters high, and then as a roller coaster, it goes down into the central station. I don't know if that is realistic or not, or nar, but we'll have to see. Please let me know in the comments if so. Maybe I should do like a hill section right here, and maybe play with some landscaping, and push the ground a little bit up and elevate it to make it a little bit more realistic. But yeah, it works. Everything is connected. On this side of the map, it goes up and down, and also I've bought some extra tiles right here, as you can see, and I've added the railway all the way to the connection, all the way to here, to make a connection as well, because these are two different cities. And I think if we make some intercity connection, as we call them basically in the Netherlands, I don't know if you call them everywhere, like intercities or something else, but anyway, a train that goes into between different cities. I think it's nice to have a connection of the north going into the center of our city and then make a connection with the south city and then vice versa on this side with the north connection entering the city in the middle and make his way down or her way down into the south area as well. So I'm going to make those connections as well. I'm curious about what these cities are called. Where's my train station? Right over here. And of course, I'll be right back. So everything is set up and we have two intercities coming and going through Richie Bay. So if we view our info panel right here, we can see that I've named the intercity accordingly to the cities that are connected to. So one intercity is going to Lake Arbor and Northway, I believe. So I called it Lake Arbor. We have 4 stops, of course, 2 trains that are using these lines. And then already we have 43 passengers going from and through our city. And the other one is called Mayworth. The other city was called Billingham. Didn't like that name, so we called it Intercity Mayworth because that's the other city it's connected to. Unfortunately, we have to use 3 trains on this line because of the length of the line itself, because it's based on the length of the kilometers, right? I do hope that in a future patch we just can choose the amount of vehicles we want to use into our lines. But for now, we have 2 trains going to Lake Arbor and 3 trains going to Mayworth. And as you can see, the trains are already rolling in right here into the station. I'm gonna hit play in just a minute because I also wanted to showcase, which I think is quite nice, due to the central hall. It goes up right here and you can actually see people use it, which I think is pretty cool. So people use it right here. And then as you can see, trains are rolling in and rolling out as we speak. People using the platforms. So that is quite nice, and going upwards into the central station where we added the restaurants out of the central hall. And then I've also added a pedestrian bridge right over here to make an easy connection, of course, with our bus lines right here, which is being used as we speak. Nice timing, guys. Nice timing. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? Oh, you're taking your puppy with you? Why not? Why not? So people can easily access the bus lines right here and, you know, visit the city. Of course, we're gonna make some extra bus stops right here around the corner, especially when we are going to add a way more tourist situation right here along the riverside, remember? So we're going to add that in the future. Now I'm going to focus on a little bit more office zoning right here. I've added these buildings that come with the train station. I think they do look quite nice, but I'm going to look for some more office building with the same height and a little bit lower to create a nice flow in and out of our train section. Okay, so around the train station, everything is built up, as you can see, and I love how everything falls a bit into place. Because coming into our business district from the highway right here, I've built this big parking area for people to, you know, visit the business district. But it also quite makes sense to have this big parking area around the train station, so-called like a kiss and ride type of thing. So I think it's quite nice that we've built it right here. Then here I've added a lot of northern eastern architecture around the train station because basically we do use it right here also into our commercial district. So I think it would be nice to have this wink at the architecture that you will see mostly into the city of Richie Bay, right? So we have some offices right here. We've added some mixed housing with apartments above to have some commercial zoning around this area too, some low density commercial zoning and some more offices around the other side as well. like this big main office in Northern Eastern style, which I do quite like. It's quite a unique looking building right here. And then again with some mixed housing in the back, which I think is a nice flow entering this side of the city here. And then in the back, let me see if I can find it correctly. Right here, we have this unique building. I think it was this one. Was it this one or was it? No, it was this one. So this is the unique building from the Northeastern pack as well. It's an inn. And I think like a hotel or an inn can really spruce up the place right here. An inn is not a hotel, right? Which I think is quite fine because it's close to the station. We don't have a luxurious hotel here. But if you want to have a quick stay and go just a one night stay into the city, you can do that right here. And it gives us a lot of bonuses like attractiveness, tourism, well-being, and other stuff right here. So if you have this pack, don't forget to check out the unique buildings because it can definitely make your city way more efficient. Now, it is a little bit patchy and rough around the edges, but we're gonna detail this later. We're gonna come back and we create some plazas, some greenery, and some bushes right here to make it really look nice and finished. But before we do that, I do want to add two more big buildings right here around this area, and that is the bank and that is the city hall. Now, I do know that these buildings are quite big, so we're gonna stop the time just for a second. Let's pause it. I do like this street right here, so I don't want to wreck this one because I'm thinking when you come out of the train station and let's, you know, build like a customized park right here, and then across it we have the city hall. So I do want to place the city hall right there. So I'm gonna wreck this and demolish this street. I'm also gonna demolish this one right here. Now I hope this will stay into effect. Yes, so we do need to remember to create something in between here because I do like this trio of buildings, the Southwest pack right there. So let me see. We're gonna grab the city hall. That's under police department right over here. And then we have this huge building. I don't know if it comes with upgrades. Of course, it doesn't fit. That's amazing. Doesn't it? It does fit, but I don't think I'm allowed to build it on this road, right? Let me see if I can just push it back just a tiny bit. And be like, over here? Is this okay? Is this okay? Can I place it? I think that's okay. So we have the city hall. Ooh, okay, that was close. But we're fine. We're fine, guys. We're fine. I think this is a quite nice, you know, look when you come out of the city. And especially it's the modern architecture one. It's a nod to the business district right over here there. Like a renovated city hall. Let's see if we can upgrade this as well. Yes, we can. Is this on the main building or is this a module? No, it's on. Ooh, okay. Sure, why not? Why not? So, what gives us this for the city of Richie Bay? Modern city hall, blah de de blah de blah de blah blah blah. Oh my. Okay. -1 loan interest. Well, I don't care. We don't have any loans, but -2 import costs citywide, which is great because we don't have any specialized industry. We're going to focus on that in just a minute. But we have high resource import costs for a lot of buildings right now. -5% building leveling cost. Oh, wow. Okay. And +5 attractiveness citywide. That is amazing. And then I want to look into this bank situation because I've never placed a bank into City Skylines before, which is this one. And of course, we need to be... Oh my god. That's huge. Okay. I thought it was big, but this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay. How we're gonna fix this? Ha 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 ha. Can I... Of course not. Oh, okay. It's because of the apartments right here. So it would fit if I demolished those apartments. Well, I think we're just going to have to do that then, right? I mean, I love these apartments, as I mentioned before, but I do want that bank right here. So I am so sorry, but we're gonna create something else right there. And back to the bank. Where were you? Hello there. Because I feel like... Yes. No? Yes. No. Oh! Perfect! It fits perfect. Okay, so that is meant to be. Cannot help it, but we have to place it there then. Can we upgrade this as well? No, this is just a unique building, and this will help us with a few things in the city, which is -2 loan interest citywide. Again, don't care. -5 import cost, which I do care about, and +5 export profit. That is not bad. That is not bad. And of course, let me check out this building with you guys as well. Wow. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty cool with the buildings in the back. I love this. Wow, this is humongous. Pretty cool. We do have some parking around here. Good. But let me see if we can still... Can we add like a small street right there? Is that possible, guys? Like an alleyway? That would be amazing. Okay, that was painful and took longer than I expected, but I think we're fine now with the roads around this area. So again, I've built this road just a little bit away from here to maintain this intersection to work okay, because it got crazy out of hand right here, but now it's looking fine again. And again, I'm gonna remove that crossing in the future, and then we have, you know, this connection right here into the business district. I was thinking though, with the pathway, of course, around the bank, we can do something creative right here. Maybe in the future at a subway station. I think that would be quite nice to enter the bank section and this business district right over here. But also maybe add like a big pedestrian bridge that crosses this section and goes into the train station. I don't know. Maybe. But for now, I'm going to leave it as it is. We're going to detail this later. Around the city hall right here, I've placed some pathways as well. And I've noticed that the game, look, I mean, it says like, oh, but do you mean this section right here and this section right here? So I'm going to do something creative around this area in the back of the city hall as well. Maybe add a park or maybe add some parking and use these pathways to extend it and make it a little bit more realistic looking. Here in the front, I've added a parking road, which now looks crazy ugly, but we're gonna fix this real soon when we enter the detail. Enough building for now around this train station. Let's dive into our industry zone right over here. Now, this is going to be interesting because, as I mentioned before, we do need some specialized industry, but I don't want to create like an oil industry or a stone industry right here on this island. For me, it doesn't make any sense to have that right here, but we're gonna build some, you know, some regular industry around this area. And we need some specialized buildings right here on this island too. So the main thing that we're going to focus on is at cargo harbor right here, hopefully with a cargo terminal for our railway to make a connection right here. We do need a fuel power plant. I want to add that as well. It's a unique building that you get when you leveled some of your normal industry. We're going to add that over here as well. We're going to add a yard for our subway trains right here too. And we're going to add a post sorting office right here because we do not have that into our city just yet. And for me, it would make sense to have this close to our cargo terminal to ship our postage right across this river. So a lot of stuff to build. I would say grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, enjoy the speed build, and I'll be right back to showcase what I've been doing. And we're back. So we're going to continue to build in just a minute, but I just want to showcase the buildings that we've placed around the island. The struggle was real, especially with the connecting the roads and the railway line around here. We already had this bridge on this side, so I just extended it right over here. Then on this side, remember, the railway track is going now underground and upwards again across this island with a beautiful bridge. I really like this bridge. Looks beautiful around this here. And then we've also added this bridge and this road right here. It's an extension of the large road that will continue all the way up into the industry section in the north, but we're gonna demolish this real soon and create more city right over there. And other than that, I also wanted to keep it parallel to each other so we can build something. I'm thinking something with a lot of high rise. We do have some high rise now in Richie Bay, of course, but it's a little bit scattered. It's a little bit all over the place and not really dense. And for me, I think it would be fun across this section right here to have a lot of high-rise buildings, apartments, skyscrapers, office zoning, commercials, you know, stuff like that. So we're gonna see that for in the future. The struggle that we had here, though, was this stupid thing. I don't know why, but when you add the extension for the cargo train on the harbor area, it only has like one entrance. And of course, for me, it was on the other side. So in this case, we're gonna go a loop around just a little bit and then continue all the way back. So we have our harbor situation here. We're gonna build more quays around it and make it all nice and neat, of course. But I just want to showcase, I also added the extra crane as well. And then in the future, we can add some warehouses, but we're gonna see if that will fit on this island as well. Here we have our subway yard for the near future. Hopefully for the next episode, we're gonna focus on subways. So this is already set, and I think it would be nice if this will go upward as well with another bridge around here or around here. So we have a lot of infrastructure going into and onto this island. I think that would look pretty cool. And then here, as I said before, we have our post-sorting facility to make sure our packages arrive safely and on time. And then here in the back, let me see what this is called actually, because I thought it was a fuel plant, but I think, yeah, so it's still a fuel plant. Okay, so we have a fuel plant right here, which gives us, what is it? Minus 5% industrial air pollution? Oh, okay. That's pretty neat though. I don't mind that because the island is very close by the city. So minus 5% air pollution is quite nice. Minus 5% ground pollution as well, citywide. I mean, that's quite nice. And then plus 2 points for industrial efficiency. Now, we're going to add some more industry around here, add some quays around the island. I've managed to unlock this whole area, as you can see. We're going to build a lot, and hopefully this will turn into the harbor that we all want it to be. And here we are. Welcome to Crescent Island, the industry island for Richie Bay. Now, it's called Crescent Island because I made this into a district. It got a quite funny name called Crescent Junction. But remember, we already have Hickory Junction right over here, so I didn't want to use a double name. But the island does have like a crescent shape, so I thought it was quite particular that it chose that name. Of course, it's an island. I'm not very original, so I turned it into Crescent Island. Anyway, as you can see, it's all done and set. We have all quays around this island. I've also added a highway intersection to go over that way into our map already as a preparation. And as you can see, I've added a mineral deposit. I also added a small stone deposit right here. Then we have some offices also that is being upgraded quite quickly, so that's nice. In the middle, we have a small park area and then some small retail zoning right here too, so maybe people can get a snack or maybe fill up their tank with the gas station and stuff like that. And then in the front right here, we have another beautiful office building that I think looks perfectly over the harbor right here. I feel like this could be an office building that also, you know, intervenes with the shipments and the cargo and make sure that everything is going right. I've also added the line already. So as you can see, cargo is already being transferred from one city to another. I just added one ship on this route because we are not exporting that much ton as we speak, but we can always add in more ships. Now, other than that, I've been quite busy. As you can see or may have noticed already, I've detailed it quite a lot here and there. So I added this container yard here, added some trees around it, especially here in the back with the park area that people can even use right here to enjoy a little bit of sunshine while you're at work. And as you may notice, I've also added a bus line. So a lot of things added, which means a lot of things changed. Remember, we had a bus depot right here with a garage in construction. I've added the garage. Still, we have one room for more right over here, but now we have enough buses for the bus line that goes actually from our bus station right over to the east, right around here. It goes across our train station and then goes into our business district all the way down here where the future decide where we're gonna have a lot of tourist attraction. Right here, it's gonna make a quick stop around this elementary school and then goes all the way down across the university, all the way over this bridge into our industrial area. And it really, really helps unemployment a lot, as I've noticed. So I was really stuck around 10% unemployment during this whole playthrough. But when I added the bus line into our industry section, let me see where it is right now. You see it is, well, 4%, 3.9%, around 4% basically. So it's way less, which is really a nice thing. And of course, now that we have our industry all here, as you can see, I kept my word. It's all demolished right over here. Now, we did lose quite some money as well. We've demolished our oil industry, which brings us a ton of money right now. But I've been playing this game for quite some time, and I'm also running it on super speed for some time because all the factories were level 1. But when they upgrade, you get a lot of money in return. So I've went from 200k per hour to 35k per hour, and now we're back on 110k per hour. So that's all good, all fine, and we're in a very safe spot right here. Then the last thing that I want to show you, this island got a little bit of a mulligan as well. We had some forest industry right here, but it just looks a little bit weird to me to have on a small island forest industry. You know, for me, a forest industry should be like quite big and quite dense. So I moved this over to this side near our intersection with the highway right here. And I think it looks amazing, way better than before. It's a really nice look with the intersection when you come into the city right here, even when the trains are passing through here. And I've added some small animal farm and a vegetable farm right here, because when I go into our production panel, I've noticed that we basically are in the green with everything except raw material. So this is my notion to start off our raw industry just a little bit. And I've detailed this also, as you can see, but I'm gonna come back every now and then because I know these will pop up when they level a little bit more, and then I'm gonna place some decals, which I did here, so it makes a little bit a more interesting look to the farm. But I have some ideas for that in the future, so stick around if you want to see that too. So all in all, I'm quite finished and happy with the end result that we have right here. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I also put in a water treatment plant right here because this was some lost space that we have where you come in from the highway. So I don't want to build anything around here, but a water treatment plant was the perfect thing to build here. We can expand with those modules right over here. So we don't have any sewage problem because the poop got stuck in the meantime when I was working on this. And the other thing that is quite interesting to see is our power. We had like a bottleneck situation with this island, so I've put in some underground power lines right over until here to get some more power onto this island. But maybe in the near future, we have to look at our own power supply as well. But for now, happy with this. Let's start with detailing around our main train station right over, where is it? Here, right? I think, yes, it's right over there. Let's build a beautiful park around the city hall, and I hope you enjoy the time lapse. See you soon. And here we are in, well, probably my new favorite place of the city, near Central Station, near the City Hall, and near the bank. We've built a lot today, a lot of detailing around the Central Station and around City Hall. I've also added some commercial zoning and some offices around it, as you can see, which made sense in my opinion, because with a great City Hall, you would have offices or maybe some commercial district nearby, especially close to Central Station. Anyway, it kind of reminds me actually of a Dutch city called Breda. It's in the south of the Netherlands. When you leave Central Station, you first gradually walk through this beautiful park before you even get to the center of the city, right? Other comparison is probably Bruges, or as the Belgian calls it, Brugge, or they say Brugge. But it's also like when you arrive at the central station, there's nothing out there. Then you go into this beautiful, luscious park, and then you enter the old city town of Bruges, which totally recommendation if you're ever in the neighborhood. But anyway, before I start yapping again, this is what we've done. As you can see, probably on the speed build, I like to do make a combination of existing parks and then customize my way around it. If you only do a customized park by yourself, citizen won't necessarily use it, the pathways, you know, stuff like that. But if you do add these parks around them and then just expand on that, people will use the parks and come to the park and then use the pathways more often, which of course I like to see. So we have this beautiful hedge park right here. It fitted perfectly in the corner. A dog park here as well, so a lot of poppers can play around. And I've added a small customized playground. I think it's quite nice to have it close by near the dog park. Sorry, door park, dog park, dog. And then we added some picnic tables here in the back where maybe the parents can sit outside and you know, watch their children so they stay safe. And then here, especially around the city hall, we have this main park here, basically, where you enter. Then I've added 2 of these tiny city parks on the sides for some, what is the word? Not variation. The Dutch word is symmetry. Symmetry. Yeah, to add some symmetry around this park. So sorry about that. And then here we've customized it a little bit as well with some fountains and just some nice flowers and some plants. I had some fun placing these statues as well. I remember on a map somewhere in the beginning when I played Cities Skylines, you had these heads as a small park somewhere, but I've never seen it on another map. So I decided to build it myself. Then we have this beautiful pavilion right here where you can sit outside and maybe eat a hot dog, 1 or 2. I think that's quite nice as well. And for the parking area right here, we just spruced up the place a little bit. I was playing around with some billboards, but I think that's just way too much right here. So the parking is being used as well, which is nice. And then we have some more buildings placed around it, as I mentioned before. Now, at the central station, I've also detailed every little corner here as well. Placed a lot of pocket parks around the areas where I could place them, especially near some restaurants with some plazas and some benches. I think that was quite fun. I think we have one here in the back as well. It's so difficult for me sometimes to see where I'm at. Yes, right here. So this works out quite fine. I've also downloaded this beautiful pedestrian pathing right here, which works amazing. As you can see, people are actually using it. We don't have to detail a lot anymore. And it looks way greener and way lusher. And I think it's a perfect fit for this central station area because, you know, you want to have some eye catcher and make sure that visitors of the city are like, oh wow, this actually looks quite nice over here. And I think it does so quite naturally. Again, I think this is one of my new favorite spots of the city. I love this contrast of all this urban area, like concrete jungle, and then we have this luscious green area right over here. So that's about it for this video, and I'm quite happy with the result and the amazing things that we did here, because we've emptied out our old industrial area, created this whole new beautiful industry island, Crescent Island. The unemployment is as low as it ever been, which is amazing, and we are still making tons of money. Now, in the next episode, I really want to take a look at subways. I think it would be a fine addition to our city, and I am thinking, do we go more skyscraper crazy, or should we focus on more tourist attraction? You guys let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And if you made it to this far at the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, and have a lovely day. Bye bye everyone.